Hey, everybody. I just wanted to give you an opportunity to participate in the Hormones Can Be Harmony class because not very many of you were able to attend. So, this information is so good, I didn't want you to miss it. So, bear with me as I share my screen. And then after we watch the video, I'm going to pop back in and give you a little bit more information. So it's been a while since I've done this screen sharing. So give me just a minute to figure it out here. All right, let's make sure we got the right thing going here. Yes, we do. Hopefully the sound will come on here in a second.
Do you know any woman, young or old, who walks around saying, "My hormones are amazing. I feel incredible. I've never had more energy or clarity"? Yeah, me neither. And why is that? Well, we've been taught to dread our hormones, to expect them to betray us, to power through the exhaustion, the mood swings, the fog, to believe that this level of suffering is just the price we pay for being women. But what if I told you that your hormones are not the enemy? What if I told you they are your superpower? I was trained in modern medicine. I practiced for years. And even with all that knowledge, my body eventually hit a wall. I had a health crash in the middle of my own perimenopause journey. And it wasn't until I stopped trying to control and silence my symptoms and started aligning with the way I was actually designed to thrive that everything changed. Your body is not broken, it's brilliant. And your hormones, they're not chaos, they are coded intelligence. They are the translators between your brain and your body, helping regulate energy, mood, metabolism, your immune response, libido, temperature, sleep cycles, and more. Hormones are chemical messengers, but they are also life shapers. They dictate how you experience the world, how deeply you sleep, how motivated you feel, how connected you are in your relationships, how steady your energy is, and how clearly you think. Let me show you how to crack the hormone code. We are living through a hormone crisis. Over 80% of women experience hormonal symptoms during perimenopause: fatigue, brain fog, anxiety, sleep struggles, hot flashes, weight gain, and more. Over 6 million women in the US have been diagnosed with PCOS, and most have not been properly diagnosed or treated. 1 in 5 women faces clinical depression, and every 12 minutes, a woman is prescribed an antidepressant, often for symptoms that could be traced back to hormone imbalance. Autoimmune disorders are on the rise, and every 10 minutes, 12 hysterectomies are performed. 13 million women have diagnosed thyroid disease, many of them mismanaged. Our hormones are under attack from every direction. Relentless stress, inflammatory foods, nutrient deficiencies, blood sugar swings, toxins in our homes, sedentary lifestyles, and emotional burnout. And the result? We just don't trust ourselves anymore. We don't understand our cycles. We think PMS is normal. We ignore the exhaustion, irritability, weight gain, brain fog, and we assume that hormone suffering is just the tax we pay for getting older and being female. But here's what no one is saying: your symptoms are not failures. They are your body's way of waving a white flag, screaming for your attention, not to punish you, but to invite you back home to the way you were designed. You're not falling apart. You're being invited back into alignment. Let's take estrogen, for example. It's vital to both men and women. It regulates mood, metabolism, energy, fat distribution, and more. But it must stay in balance. And here's where it goes sideways. When cortisol, your stress hormone, rises, estrogen tends to rise too. Why? Because your body does what you ask it. And when you ask it to make stress hormone, it does. It actually converts progesterone into cortisol. That's called the pregnenolone steal. And when your progesterone drops because of this, the estrogen becomes unopposed. The result is a cascade of symptoms like belly and thigh fat, poor sleep, low mood and anxiety, breast tenderness, fibroids, and even heavy cycles. And cortisol doesn't rise alone. Anything that raises that stress hormone also raises estrogen, like processed sugar and carbs, alcohol, poor sleep, environmental toxins, and harmful gut bacteria. And the more cortisol and estrogen you produce, the less space there is for progesterone. And that's your calming, sleep promoting, mood balancing hormone. On top of this, we're swimming in a sea of toxic estrogens called xenoestrogens. These are estrogen mimicking chemicals that are found in plastics, fragrances, beauty products, and pesticides, and they confuse your body, overload your hormone receptors, and keep you in a state of estrogen dominance. This pattern of high cortisol, low progesterone, and high estrogen is the hormonal storm that's affecting millions of women. But you are not powerless. Your body is brilliant. And when you learn to listen to the signals, you unlock healing. Hormones aren't just about reproduction. They're about energy, clarity, sleep, metabolism, creativity, and even emotional power. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me? Learn to ask, what is my body trying to tell me? Because when you start listening, everything starts changing. And this is where the real shift happens. Once we stop silencing our symptoms and start tuning in, we can begin to realign with how our bodies were designed to function. Let me walk you through the 4 most important hormonal keys to help you reclaim balance, energy, and vibrancy. This is the hormone shift framework. Number 1 is insulin. Insulin is the absolute most important hormone when it comes to balancing your female hormones. When insulin is high, so many things go wrong in your body. Higher insulin leads to lower sex hormone binding globulin, which means that you have more estrogen circulating around, which leads to estrogen dominance. High insulin also contributes to blood sugar crashes, energy swings, and cravings that keep the cycle going. We can lower insulin and reduce insulin resistance by dramatically reducing the processed sugars and refined carbs we take in, by focusing on whole foods, healthy fats, protein, and fiber, and by building muscle, but we'll get to that next. Some Young Living products that are so good for this are Ningxia Red, which supports stable energy and blood sugar, and the Sleep products, which are natural tools for curbing cravings and reducing glycemic spikes. If you don't address insulin, you will never fully balance your other hormones. Insulin is the queen bee when it comes to hormones. The second stabilizer of our hormones and balancer of our hormones is lean muscle. We experience a loss of lean muscle after age 30, and if we don't do something about it, this can be catastrophic. Loss of muscle means loss of energy, loss of metabolism, loss of stability, and even loss of the freedoms of the things we want to do. Strong muscle means we have better mood and energy, stronger bones because the muscles pull on the bone to keep them strong and dense. We have lower inflammation, higher metabolism, and a longer, more independent life. Having strong muscle is about freedom, the freedom to hike, dance, surf, travel, stay active, and my favorite new hobby, chasing grandbabies. You get to live life on your terms when you build lean muscle, and it supports metabolism and supports healthy hormones. Every time you pick up a weight or take a walk, you're casting a vote for a stronger, longer, and more joyful life. And there are some Young Living products that I love for this, like Amino Wise for muscle recovery and repair, Ningxia Nitro for clean pre-workout energy, and even Deep Relief and Panaway for sore muscles after training. The third pillar of hormone balance is stress. Stress is not just emotional, it's hormonal. And every time you experience chronic stress, your body responds with cortisol changes. Cortisol is essential for short-term survival, but when it stays high, it steals from your body's progesterone, leaving you estrogen dominant. It increases body fat and blood sugar and disrupts sleep and libido. It also weakens your immune system and lowers your energy. Remember, the same stressors that raise cortisol also raise estrogen. Some top hidden stressors here are refined sugars and alcohol, chronic sleep deprivation, toxin overload, and emotional burnout. Add in the xenoestrogens that we talked about earlier, those fake estrogens from the environment, and we've got hormonal overload. The good news is your body is the most powerful pharmacy on earth. When you give it the signal of safety, nourishment, and connection, it knows how to heal itself. We have amazing products in Young Living that help with detox, one of which has just been released, that once your body is armed with the products that can help you, you can help your body help itself. The fourth driver of hormone balance is fuel. We must have the food that heals and brings life to our body. If your hormones are messengers, then what you eat is the ink that writes the message. Your body is designed to heal, but it needs the raw materials, the nutrients, to do its job. And every bite you eat is either telling your body you're safe, nourished, balanced, you have what you need, or you're under threat. You don't have what you need. You need to store fat. You need to hoard stress. Every hormone your body produces, from estrogen to progesterone to cortisol, begins with cholesterol. It's essential. Cholesterol becomes pregnenolone, which is the mother hormone, which then gets converted into DHEA, progesterone, estrogen, cortisol, and testosterone. And here's where it gets tricky. When your body's under stress, it prioritizes cortisol. And when your diet is nutrient poor and too low in healthy fats, the raw materials for your reproductive and feel-good hormones simply aren't there. And the result is hormonal chaos. Common nutrient gaps in women with hormone issues are omega-3s, magnesium, B vitamins, trace minerals, and fiber. How to fuel good hormone health is to eat whole, colorful, living foods, to build every meal around protein, healthy fat, and fiber, to add fermented foods to nourish your microbiome, which is critical for estrogen detox, and to drink plenty of filtered water, and to reduce caffeine and sugar, both which spike cortisol and deplete your key nutrients, and to supplement with targeted, powerful support that works with your body's design. You were made for this. Breathe this in. You are not broken. You are not crazy, and you are not too late. You have simply been disconnected from the wisdom, rhythm, and brilliance that's already alive in your body. The symptoms you're having that you've tried to silence, they're not failures. They're sacred signals. Your body is waving a white flag, asking you to listen, to slow down, to come home. And when you do, when you stop numbing or overriding or dismissing those signals, and when you start honoring the way you were designed, you will start to feel better than you felt in years. Remember, insulin is the silent force behind hormone chaos. Muscle is not just about appearance, it's about how long and how well you will live. And stress is biochemical, not just emotional. And nutrition, good nutrition, is vital. It's the fuel for good, healthy hormones. And most importantly, you have tools. You have the access to good food, these rituals that you can build. You have the authority. You are not at the mercy of your hormones. You are in partnership with them. So let me ask you, what do you want your body to create for you today? What kind of energy do you want to carry into your home, your calling, your relationships? What kind of legacy do you want to embody for your children, your friends, your future self? Because here's the truth. You were never meant to drag through life disconnected, depleted, and discouraged. You were meant for clarity, strength, joy, connection, creativity, and impact. And when you live aligned with how you were made, you will become so magnetic. Nothing can stop you. You have access to the best tools in the world. Use them, share them, and live your most amazing life at every age.
Okay, take a minute, stand up and stretch, and go get a drink or a snack if you need to. We're going to watch one more short video. This is the science behind the new product called Daily Hormone Essentials, and it helps to turn those switches back on that Dr. Wadsworth was just saying sometimes get stuck off, and it helps your body heal itself. So when you come back, here's the science behind daily hormone essentials.
Vice President of Product Development, Howard Gurney.
Isn't she amazing? She made my job pretty easy. Thank you, Dr. Edie, for such an incredible scientific walkthrough of balancing women's hormones. Are you ready for a big announcement? That was weak. Are you ready for a big announcement? Much better. Now, before we get into the product announcement, most of you are probably wondering why a man is standing on stage to announce a product about women's hormone health. I have a disclaimer. Men, back me on this one. We are not the experts on women's hormone health, on mood swings, on irritability, even though we may be the cause. Dr. Edie addressed the importance of insulin, and I want to make that point. It's super important. She discussed how it can be controlled through diet and activity. Insulin balance within the hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal axis is critical to improvement in the overall hormone cycles for both men and women. I want to focus on a hormone trio: estrogen, progesterone, and cortisol. Estrogen is the feminizing hormone. This is the hormone that makes you feel like a woman. Cue Shania Twain. It's critical to the very nature of a woman. Progesterone is the calming hormone. Bliss, peace, calmness are all a byproduct of this hormone being in balance within the female body. Cortisol is the holy crap hormone. This is a direct result of the hypothalamus talking to the pituitary, sending a signal to the adrenal glands saying, stress is coming, release the hormone. When you have a combination of your estrogen out of balance, lower progesterone, and cortisol spiking, you have this perfect storm hitting your body. This is where you have mood swings. Your sleep becomes disrupted. You age at a rapid pace. You have an increased risk of disease and an overall reduction in the quality of life. It's a domino effect. It cascades within the female body. Introducing the storm calming daily hormone essentials. This product has been designed with clinically supported amounts of scientifically backed ingredients to fight the storm within. Let's check out the ingredients. Starting with a blend of 3 Korean botanicals in a blend called Estro G100. This single blend has 6 double-blind, placebo-controlled, randomized studies for the effects of symptoms associated with PMS, perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopausal women. The results of the studies consuming over 500 milligrams of this ingredient showed a 62% decrease in hot flashes, improved sleep quality, reduction in mood swings, and becoming irritable by all of us men who do and say stupid things, and a reduction in night sweats by a staggering 51%. How this works relates to what Dr. Edie talked about. ER alpha and ER beta are estrogen receptor sites. Phlomis umbrosa, Cynancum wilfortii, and Angelica gigas helps bind to the receptor sites to mimic estrogenic activity when estrogen declines or spikes and can't bind to the receptor site. It also preps and scrubs the receptor sites so that estrogen can efficiently bind. This is an incredible ingredient that we've added at that 514 milligrams clinically studied amount in the product to achieve that clinical result. Maca root from the Incan population of South America has been used as a powerful adaptogen for hormone imbalance. We have 500 milligrams of maca to this formulation. This ingredient focuses on estrogen and progesterone balance while releasing glucosinolates to the pituitary gland, which is the master regulator of the hormones in the body. It also helps with energy and women's libido, and it also is a direct connection to that HPA axis that I talked about. We combined Estrogen 100 and maca root with 350 milligrams of ashwagandha. This powerful adaptogen has been used for 1,000 years in Ayurvedic medicine to help with stress and cortisol level spikes. We are now attacking that third pillar in that perfect storm by reducing cortisol and that body trying to hit that holy crap panic button. Deep spectra frankincense. This is added to the product to balance pain associated with normal PMS and pain associated with menopause. Yes, pain. Our deep spectra technology, we've identified over 400 bioactive compounds in this frankincense squared, and all of these compounds are included in this product. Chasteberry extract is also included, and now this affects the balancing of hormones during PMS. So this is not just a menopause supplement. This is for all women affected by hormone imbalance. This ingredient contains dopaminergic compounds that inhibit prolactin by 41%. High prolactin levels in the female body can lead to a missed or irregular menstrual cycle and lower estrogen production. Chasteberry really focuses in again on this HPA axis that I keep talking about. It keeps the hormone levels optimal during menstrual cycles and menopause. This ingredient alone has clinical data to support a 67% decrease in symptom severity associated with PMS and menopause. What would it be without the importance of our essential oils? In addition to deep spectra frankincense, we have added clary sage, lavender, ylang-ylang, davana, and fennel to this amazing formula. Every one of these oils have been selected to target that perfect storm, either with estrogen balance, progesterone balance, the affinity and trying to get those hormones to the receptor sites, and a reduction in cortisol. Now, we didn't stop there. We performed an in-house user trial for 30 days on this product. After 15 days, yes, 15 days, we saw a dramatic 80% reduction in menopausal symptoms, all phases of menopausal symptoms. After 30 days, that increased to 85%. The common symptoms were energy, sleep quality, mood, libido, and hot flashes. Are you excited about the product? I think you can do a little bit better than that. Are you excited? It's now my honor to bring to the stage Monica Catalano so she can talk to you about the benefits of the business associated with this product.
All right. So if you need to take another break, go ahead and take another break. I've got just a few more minutes of information for you, and I'm going to try and figure out how to stop sharing. There we go. Stop sharing the screen. There we go. Okay, so just a few more minutes here. Bear with me. I've got some really fun stuff here. So just kind of recapping and expounding on what we've already learned. Hormones are messengers in your body that regulate metabolism, growth, development, puberty, tissue function, sexual function, reproduction, sleep, and mood. They affect every single cell of your body. Your endocrine system, which is your chemical messenger system, consists of all the glands in your body that make hormones, which are the thyroid, parathyroid, adrenals, pancreas, ovaries, and for men, it's the testes. What is xenoestrogen? Remember, Dr. Edie Wadsworth talked about xenoestrogen. They are the estrogen mimicking compounds, which is a type of hormone disruptor found in food additives, insecticides, weed killers, plastics, shampoos, cosmetics, detergents, and even the linings of the food and drink cans and containers that we use. They are also fed to the cows that we eat. So how do you know if your hormones are off? There are lots of symptoms that I'm sure that we have experienced at one time or another. Tender breasts, mood swings, water retention, weepiness, exhausted in the morning, headaches or migraines, low libido, irritability, anxiety, fibroids, puffiness and bloating, bleeding issues, cold body temperatures, cystic ovaries, vaginal infections, dry vagina, uterine cancer, candida infections or fungus, heavy periods, breast cancer, sleep trouble, sugar cravings, feeling hangry, the need for caffeine to function, elevated triglycerides, infertility, a changing menstrual cycle, leaky bladder, tingling of the hands and feet, tinnitus, which is ringing in the ears, fibromyalgia, digestion problems, low or high blood sugar, and stubborn belly fat. Okay, who's had one or more of these? I bet we all have. So let's lighten up just a minute and have some fun. I came up with a new slang word for perimenopause. Are you ready for it? Cougar puberty. I think that's really funny. So here's some more. What do you call your hot flashes? Now, I came up with some silly words to replace the term hot flashes. So I want you to email me or text me what your favorite funny term for hot flashes is, but here's some of mine. Glow time or glow up. You're just radiant, darling. Sweat and sass. Sisters unite. Power surges. Private summers. Tropical moments. No travel required. Flame bursts. Your body has become a campfire. Sizzle sessions. Boil alerts. Fire drills because they show up unannounced. Volcano mode, spontaneous human combustion, flash dance. Okay, so I'm going to send a door prize to anybody that sends me a video of you doing a dramatic fanning flash dance with a hot flash, okay? Door prize opportunity right there. Crock pot effect. It's set on high and you can't find the off switch, right? Pop-Tart moments. 1 second you're fine, the next second you're toasted. Sweat Lodge special. It's a spiritual cleansing minus the ceremony. Microwave mode. 0 to boiling in 30 seconds flat. Thermostat tantrum. Your body is staging a protest against eaters. Sunrise or surprise sauna. Heat lightning. It strikes fast with no storm cloud in sight. And we learned about daily hormones or daily hormone essentials in the video. So did you catch that it has been studied and proven to reduce hot flashes by 80%? So we're going to talk about a few more products that can support your hormones. Excuse me while I adjust my camera that seems to be falling off here. So Progessence Plus is a natural way of supporting the endocrine system so that we can do what we need to do without replacing the hormones in the body that the body should be making on its own. This serum tends to work well for teenagers who have cramps or headaches during their cycles. And for adult women, use Progessence Plus for mild headaches, moodiness, anger, cramps, hot flashes, food cravings, etc. It's been touted as the one essential oil needed for any female ages 9 to 99. Everybody needs a little bit more progesterone. It's the calming hormone, as you heard in our video. So other products that Young Living makes for hormone support are Femigen, Scleressence, which comes in a regular essential oil or a vitality essential oil, which means it's FDA approved for internal consumption, so you can use it in a veggie capsule or drop it under your tongue. Endoflex, which also comes in a regular essential oil or a vitality. Thyromin and Cortistop. We also have one called Endogize that I'll give you some information on later. Emotions are stored in different places in the human body. For example, fear and worry are stored in the kidneys. Anger and rage are stored in the liver and the gallbladder. Inner crying is stored in the lungs or the kidneys. Sadness is stored in the pancreas. Lack of joy is stored in the heart. Unforgiveness is stored in the liver. Revenge is stored in the kidneys. Stress is stored in the stomach. So we have lots of essential oils that support emotions. That's a whole other class. But if that's something that you're interested in, please reach out and let me know and I can send you some information on that. We also have lots of hormone support specific oils in Young Living's lineup. Clary Sage, you've heard that one is in the Daily Hormone Essentials, but it comes in a single. Dragon Time is a blend of essential oils specifically for the menstrual cycle period of time. Lady Sclerol, I've mentioned Endoflex before. And then there's also an oil called Mister that can help regulate the testosterone end of your hormones. I do have some information on men's hormones as well. If that's something that you're interested in, I'm not going to take the time to cover that in this class, but reach out to me and I can send you information on men's hormones as well. I'm going to put some information together in a bonus document so you can read a little bit more about each one of these as well, and I will attach it somehow to this video. So the heart message in this class is, I always tell people if you want a wow moment with an oil, use it for emotions. And if you want to really get perplexed and confused, try puzzling out your hormones and what's going to help your hormones. There are so many things that throw our hormones off, and they change like sand on a seashore. What works one time might work for a whole year, and then things are going to change and it won't work anymore. And then you've got to start all over trying to figure out where your hormones shifted this time and play around with the products again. So ultimately, you've got 4 choices. You can, 1, be miserable. 2, try to solve the puzzle with drugs that have lots of side effects. And doctors have to play with drugs to find a solution as well. What works now may not work for you later. And that goes with Western medicine as well as holistic natural medicine. The third choice you have is to remove organs like your thyroid or your ovaries if they're causing trouble. But that choice also leads to really lifelong bad side effects. And 4, give oils and supplements a try. Your troubles might be significant and the oils might feel like you're placing a Band-Aid on a gushing dam, but I promise you that if you can get to the root of the issue, whether it's a toxic product in your life or a poor diet choice, and you use oils to try and balance your body out, it's a much gentler way that has no side effects, and you'll be able to play around with the different products. You might feel like Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb, trying a gazillion unsuccessful combinations before he got it right, but keep trying. Like I said, it is a puzzle. For one mama, after 12 years of hot flashes between perimenopause and menopause, she found that simply putting lavender in her diffuser gave her a full night's sleep for the first time in years. So sometimes the answer is very simple, and other times it's not quite so easy. There are so many hormone success stories on our team, but all the women had to play with different products and trial and error to try and find what was right for them. So if I have to play around with products to find an answer, I want something that's not going to damage my liver in the process. And that's why I love essential oils. So where do I recommend you start? Well, my top 3 recommendations as places to start would be the new Daily Hormone Essentials, Ningxia Red, and Progessence Plus. Those are really the ones that I feel like every woman needs at some point in her life. And I will give you a QR code as an easy order button if you're interested in starting with one of those. And as I stated before, I'll attach some bonus information so you can read through more information about these products that we have that support hormones and adrenals and emotions as well. So thank you for joining me. And one last thing is I will also be attaching a promotion that's been offered for new customers. If you would like to start with an order to support your hormones of 100 PV and you're a new customer, we will put a product credit on your account for $20. So you can use it for your next order. The best way to order these supplements and to do your trial and error with hormones is to order your products on the Loyalty Rewards subscription program. And I will also include more information somewhere in this. I'll attach it to the video somewhere as well. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you guys have a great day.